Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Step into the Portal. My name is the Brandt, and I'm joined by
Nick Rice or cnspartan.
awesome. Good morning, everybody. When I said I'm a morning person, I am not joking with you. Up nice and early, ready to play a game on a Friday. Woo! Let's celebrate Friday. Nick, have you been outside?
No, not other than my daughter. She just had to go out to the bus, so that's
It's
about the extent.
cold.
I had to find my house shoes for this
Yeah,
point.
like wow. And I mean, I'm not immune to actual freezing temperatures, but we've been pretty summer. Sorry, if people don't know, Nick lives in Connecticut as well. So
Yeah, it's like a hop,
um
skipping away.
but yeah, I went outside this morning for the pets and everything, and I went out barefoot and I was like, whoa, this is cold. We have a rabbit, so I had to feed the rabbit.
Well, like the other part of it is it's been so hot here lately.
Right. Yeah, we've had summer weather through mid-September, and then it just actually even 2 days ago it was like 80 something degrees.
Yeah, no, our right when we started getting those heat waves in like August is when our AC broke.
Right.
So we've got we went out and bought 5 fans. We have the window units. It's
Yeah, right.
not cutting it, but here
Nice.
for
Well,
champions. So
this is a relaxing Friday morning. Ooh, hold on. That one in my ear. All right, there we go. This is a nice relaxing Friday morning. Nick got a randomizer. Do you want to tell people about the randomizer you made?
I made a randomizer in Pi, and what it does is now I did use all of the X-Men. All of the X-Men are in it now.
Okay.
So, I was kind of hoping we have Cyclops and Phoenix. So if they came up, I would just restart it.
Sure.
But I was kind of hoping that one of those two would come out for you, and no, it didn't.
I don't have Cyclops and Phoenix.
I know. So if it's something that you don't have, I would just do it again, essentially.
Nice.
But no, so it gave us basically everything. Most of the stuff came from the first wave. So
Cool.
doing a little old school, I guess.
All right. Well, we're going to fight. So the randomizer brought up Crossbones, as well as with the Madame Hydra. I think it's actually called Legions of Hydra. Oops. Legions of Hydra modular set. And the Kree Militants from Ronin, as well as Zax, which is from the SP. Nope. Nova or
It was
Ironheart.
Ironheart.
It was in the Ironheart pack. There you go.
Yeah, because Armadillo was with Nova, right?
So we're shuffling all those together, fighting Crossbones here. Who are you playing today?
So it gave me Miss Marvel. And
Okay.
I've fixed it because you were the one that gave me the idea that it should also give you your aspect. So I fixed that as well. But I will be playing in aggression.
Nice. I am playing Steve Rogers Protection. And so I decided to go with this no block defense or whatever, where you play a defense card, but you don't exhaust to defend. So I'm just trying to maximize my punch back on the villain when they hit me. So I called the deck, feel free to hit me all day, which I thought was good because it deals a lot of damage. And I think I posted on the Facebook group there, I did 15 damage on the villain's turn.
Yeah, I think people
With the
on the
deck.
Facebook group just love the name.
Yeah, it was fun. I wasn't sure because that also sounds like it could be just a pure defensive deck. Like I can just block over and over and over. Feel free to hit me all day, but whatever. Anytime you play on the I can do this all day with Cap, you're in a good spot, right? I figured was the idea. Cool. Well, let's see. It's been a little while since I fought Crossbones. The last I remember, we tried to do the Expert 2 campaign, and we just got demolished over and over and over again by Crossbones. So we'll have to see how this one goes. We've got a giant deck here, so we probably won't see most of the cards, which is kind of interesting as to exactly what will happen. All right, going down to the table here. We're going to shuffle up this. We flip over the first scheme, which is 3 per player. I actually wonder if this light is too much. It feels like my natural light is doing a decent job. All right, and our weapon is going to be the power gauntlet. So when he attacks you, you have to discard a card. That one is rough. How much have you fought Crossbones?
He's probably one of the villains I've got more experience with.
Okay.
Like I have absolutely no experience with most of the Mad Titan Shadow.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the only one I did there was Hella because of that
Oh, right, because I challenged you on that one or whatever. You challenged me.
challenge.
So do you usually find with Crossbones that you try to remove the weapons, or do you try to just deal damage quickly?
I guess it really depends on what I've got, like especially
Okay.
like my first hand. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm
So this is
horrible
a
about
mental and a punch.
I'm
What?
horrible about the remembering to mulligan.
Ah,
I mean, I guess he would be a good one for that though. I don't need this.
all right. Well, I don't need defense events in my opening hand, and I can go get them.
I'm probably just get rid of these two.
Would you like to go first or second?
You can go first.
Okay. I got to go get my shield. Did you mulligan?
I mulligan too. So I got rid of chase them down and sneak by,
All right.
and I got follow through and moon girl.
I missed my shield somewhere.
I was really hoping to get another physical resource.
Got it.
Martial prowess. I don't think I can give up.
Oh yeah. Well, she has her suit, so if you get her suit instead, you could survive without that.
I know, but I feel like it's just such a great card for her.
For sure, yeah. All right. So I'm going to use Power of Protection to play Jocasta. And when Jocasta comes into play, and the first ally played is one cheaper, she can get a defense event. So I'm going to get my shield block and put it on her. And then I will flip to Hero. I'll play Fearless Determination to draw a card. It's a preemptive strike. And I will use these two to play the Serum. And then I will use my Serum to play. Oh, I forgot to try to get rid of the weapon. Do you have resources to do that?
I don't. I only have the one physical and that would be martial prowess.
Gotcha. I do not have them. So we're going to have to just deal with that, I guess. All right. The Serum will play my shield. I will punch for 2. I will do this all day and punch for 2 more. He's down to 20.
So I'm going to pay. I'm going to use energy to pay for martial prowess. And then I guess I'll use Moon Girl and follow through for Ironheart, which will give me, I get to draw a card. Oh no.
What do you got there? I can't see it.
It's Shrink.
Ah.
I can't afford to put it out.
And your other one is Endurance?
Yeah.
Yeah, just toss the Shrink to put out the Endurance.
All right.
This is a hard one to set up all that threat removal. The schemes are pretty low, so the removal of +2 isn't as big a deal.
All right. I flip, and it just says that I get to.
Do you want to just stay down turn 1 and build again?
I can.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not gonna. Well, I guess I'm so used to his first one, isn't it? Like 3.
Right, but I'm up, so it'll.
No, I mean I'm so used to doing this solo that like I'm terrified to do it and stay down against him because it's probably gonna pop.
Right. No, yeah, no, solo definitely can make a big difference on some of these villains where you can't stay down turn 1. It's a huge part. Alter ego is a huge part of the game. I mean, they say they expected people to be more like 80% hero, 20% alter ego, but I am definitely closer to like 60-40.
I'm probably more like 90-10.
Yeah, and it's a huge part. I mean, especially Kamala Khan, she has to. Don't forget you have that other ability too. You actually could have played Shrink if you wanted to. You didn't do Teen Spirit.
Oh, darn. Well, I think endurance is probably going to be better for me anyway.
Yeah, and don't forget to adjust your health.
Yes, I did. I'm at 13
right.
now.
We will draw up. There we go. Beautiful turn. Okay, so he's going to put 2 threat on the main scheme. And then he is going to attack me for 1 after he attacks and damages me. So I could actually just use my shield block. So he's going to hit me for 1 plus 2 and piercing. So I will then use my defensive energy to play preemptive strike, send the 2 back at him. He goes to 18. And I will play my shield block so that I don't take any damage as well. So now I have blocked against him, so I'll play counter punch. And I will hit him for 2. He's down to 16. And then he takes 1 retaliate from my shield down to 15. That's how we do it. All right. And I didn't take any damage, so I don't have to discard a card.
And how many cards do you have left?
2.
Okay.
Yep, but I've got my serum, so 1, 2 will play my energy barrier, which is exactly what I want.
All right.
And with Cap, I can just spend a card to ready, right?
Yeah.
I know some people don't like this idea with defense because they want to do something on their hero turn, not the villain turn, right?
I mean, but how you did how much damage to him though?
Yeah, he's taken 9 damage for you. He took 5 on that turn alone, turn 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it works great. And I didn't exhaust. So I still have that available. All right, then he's going to scheme against you for 1 plus 1 is 2. So this will go to 4 and we are fine. And then we get cards.
I do have a sneak by.
All right, perfect. Cornered staff. So there's going to be 3 plus discard 1 per player card from the top of the encounter deck. Place them just here for each boost icon. So there's going to be 6 on that. And then you get Crossbones Assault. So that's going to have an acceleration. And when we get rid of it, he will activate against the player who got rid of it.
Nice.
That will pass to you.
I'm going to use my ability. So, oh, hey. Wow. I'm going to play Into the Fray to put out Nikita. Let's use Wiggle Room to get.
Hey, late night gaming. Oh, that's kind of ironic that late night gaming is here with us early in the morning.
Yeah, he's up so late that we started streaming. Actually,
there you go.
I need to move some screens around. All right, so I got a Mir Khan now. So from the bottom of my deck, let's get the where is it? There it is. Shrink. So I'm gonna exhaust at the bottom of the deck. Then I get to draw a card. Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna exhaust her, flip over, use Pan of Attack to play Sneak By.
Okay.
And then I'm going to exhaust Martial Prowess and Bombshell to play Big Hands.
All right, are you taking one of those cards back into your hand, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that because it's. I guess I'll keep Big Hand. Well, no, I'm gonna take Sneak By. Sneak By is probably gonna be better for us.
So do you?
But I'm
so
out.
You can play Big Hands, or you could play Sneak By again instead to remove that threat. It's up to you.
I can't because I don't have the resources for it.
Well, if you didn't play Big Hands, you could play Sneak By, right?
Well, I had to use Martial Prowess for Sneak.
Ah, got
for Big Hands.
Yeah. Okay, so we're dealing 4 damage.
4 damage, and we remove 3 threat.
Okay. So maybe instead of taking the card back, you could just use Miss Marvel to get rid of one here, and then I could clear this with Jocasta.
Oh, then let's definitely do that then.
So you can leave Sneak By out.
I also have Ironheart that I didn't do anything with.
Oh, well, she could remove the one threat then if you want.
Yeah, we can do that.
And you can take the card back in your hand and then remove some threat next turn. Or you could keep big hands if you just want to deal damage next turn. All right, so Jocasta.
What's
Sorry,
left?
go ahead.
No, what's left on the that's
Well, you couldn't remove main
yeah,
scheme
why don't you take it
because-
off of the main, because that's gonna pop.
But you
otherwise.
can't because I just removed it on my turn
Oh, okay.
with
Never mind.
Jocasta. Yeah.
That's fine.
All right. I will, however, exhaust Cap to get rid of 2 here. I don't have the resources to get rid of this Power Gauntlet, so that's going to run into a bit of a trouble. I mean, I'd like to flip down to get extra cards, but maybe I'll stay up since I have all this defense stuff. All right. So I will get 3 counters on Energy Barrier. Maybe I'll take no damage. All right, ready?
Yep.
Drum up. Nick Fury, I got a powerful punch here. And a counter punch. I probably won't end up playing Nick Fury then. This enhanced reflexes, so if I get Nova out, I can deal damage back to the villain.
Well, I got my combat training,
Okay,
but more importantly, I found Bruno.
there you go. Combat training is actually probably best put on me, right?
Yeah, that would put you at 3.
Punch for 3, ready, punch for 3. Whereas on Miss Marvel, it doesn't really do anything.
I get to
Because
punch
you're
for 2
usually
now.
right, but you're usually exhausting to get your event back. So she's got better things to do, you know.
Hey, Rich, I'll reach out to you after the stream.
Oh yeah, no. Hello, Mr. Meow. Yeah, no, late night game. It totally makes sense that you would play and then obviously have work. I just thought it was funny. All right, we're adding 2 threat here. Attacking Miss Marvel. Do you have a wiggle room?
I just got rid of it, but I'll have Ironheart defend for me.
Okay. So 1 + 2.
She's
You
gone.
do not have to damage anything.
Yeah, man.
And then he's going to attack me, and I'm going to play a powerful punch. So I will deal 4 damage to him. And then he will attack for 1, 2, 3, and gain piercing. So I don't think I'm going to have any options here. I will send one of them back, so I only take 2. Then I have to discard a card, so I will discard Nick Fury. And I will play a counter punch. Actually, then he takes 1, and then I'll play a counter punch to hit him for 2 more. Maybe I should keep Nick Fury because I can get rid of the gauntlets. Probably a better play. All right, and then we get cards. Oop, it accelerated, so this should actually be at 5, not 4. Your card is, oh no, Legions of Hydra. This is rough. We're just gonna have to deal with this.
Maybe it
Till we
won't be a
win.
20-minute game.
Yeah. Oh no, it's Madame Hydra, not another Legions of Hydra. Maybe we're lucky and she's my card. Hey, I think we might be lucky. Did she go in this pile? Ah, she did. All right, so she's going to come into play, and then we're going to put 2 additional threat for every Hydra in play. So she's a Hydra, he is a Hydra, so it's going to be at 7 threat. We may just be playing a little heroic here. And she can't take any damage until we remove that scheme. All right, and my card is going to be a Hydra Soldier. Oh, I cannot remove. All right, so I will, and I guess I could attack him twice. But I think what I'll do is I will spend these 2 to get rid of his gauntlets, so he doesn't make us discard cards. And then I can remove 2 threat. I can remove 4 threat. If we want to try to get rid of Legions of Hydra. I don't know what you have.
I would only be able to do one.
Okay, but you have what's his name there? Miles?
Yeah, so I was thinking about playing combat training on you
Mhm.
and then using either Braun or Miles to pay for Bruno.
Got it.
But I'm not sure if because you were talking about going
So
to
we
alternate
we have to
class.
decide, like, do we want to speed to the finish? Do we want to just, we could just attack and try to finish it off, or we could try to control a little bit. We could get rid of this Legions of Hydra.
Yeah. I feel right now
Together.
like the way that this hand came out, this is really more of like a build me up kind of hand and not
Mhm.
really I think I'm more playing to be here and not as much like doing anything.
Well, Miles would be a great play because if I thwart with both of them, you could get rid of Legions of Hydra and we wouldn't have to draw the extra card.
All right. So I mean, I guess
And
I can
then how
pay
much
with
does
it.
Bruno cost? 1?
He costs 1, yeah.
Okay. So then you could flip down and then you can use Nakia and Amir to be able to play more cards, right?
Yeah. And then I
Well,
could also use Bruno too.
so that's an option, but we could just plow through this guy and deal with her threat and just leave this. But I think getting an extra card might be a little rough. So I will get rid of 4 threat there. I will stay up so that you can flip down. It is all you.
I will pay strength and combat training men to play Spider-Man.
All right.
Right. Well, how much threat is on there?
3.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I was debating if I wanted to put Braun out there instead.
Mm,
So Spider-Man will then remove the 3 threat.
perfect.
We'll do it that way, I think. And I'll flip down. I don't have to exhaust. So Nikita will pay for Bruno.
Well, now are you at full health?
I am.
So before you flip, do something. Remove a
Uh,
threat or something, right?
yeah, let's remove the threat off of.
Actually, it doesn't matter because it's gonna pop.
Yeah, but what about the other one?
I mean, this one we might just have to live with, right?
All
This
right.
one makes him activate, so maybe we just deal the damage here and see if we can flip him.
Well, why don't we attack one of the minions?
Okay.
Whichever
Sure.
has the least amount of health.
Yeah.
So Nikita will pay for Bruno. I mean, I guess I can put this with Bruno. Use this.
I think it's Nakia. Did you watch the show?
No, I did not watch the
Oh,
show.
gotcha. Yeah, it's
We-
pronounced Nakia.
We stopped watching after Hawkeye.
Got it.
I don't know, we've just been real busy.
Sure.
I think I really like Sneak By. All right. And I get to draw another card. Phew. And then I get to, is it search until I get a,
Yeah, one of her cards.
all right. So we're go through the entire deck now. And begin.
Yeah. And then you put a card under Bruno?
Yeah, I did already.
Alright.
I put, what's his name? I put Braun there.
Braun under there. Yeah, you could have waited until you did your Teen Spirit, and then you'd be able to use Braun in your combat to put him big and down, right?
Yes.
All right,
I don't
here we
know.
go.
I've never actually played Kamala. I've
Gotcha.
only had to like supervise my daughter playing her.
Yeah, no worries. All right. We are good here. I got a heroic strike. That might just be a way to go.
I get 4.
All right. We're adding 3 threat to the main scheme, so it pops. I don't really ever consider this a big deal. Like, they gave us 3 schemes so we can use them. I don't think there's any sense of like, if you lose a scheme, that's terrible. You know what I mean? And I think some people might play otherwise, where they're like, oh my gosh, you know, if I flip a scheme, I'm doing terrible. But I just use them like, eventually it's going to pop. I don't want it to pop early, but it's fine.
Yeah.
She's
Well,
going to get
especially
another
that
thing
one.
here. She's going to be a +1/+1. And then he is going to attack me for 2 +2. So I'm going to play preemptive strike. I'm going to send a 2 back to him. It's not an attack. So he will take 2. And then I will take, then I take damage. So I will block one of them and send it to this soldier. So I take 1 damage and then retaliate against Crossbones. So he will flip to the next stage. He's got 28 health and he has to go get his machine gun. We're crushing him.
I keep looking at the wrong screen. I keep looking at
Gotcha.
YouTube to figure out what's going on instead of yours.
Yeah, Brombe, I agree with you. Actually, the weapon that I think I'm most afraid of, I mean, retaliate isn't a big deal here for these 2 characters, I don't think, but these power gauntlets are actually the one where I have to discard cards that I like the least. This one is 3 resources, but it's just +1/+1. It doesn't really bother me at all. But no, for sure, there's some where flipping the scheme can be really bad. Like the snap, right, in Thanos, that's a lot bigger deal. All right, then this soldier's going to attack me, so I'm going to block 1 damage, send it back to him, and then he will die on retaliate. Look at all that damage.
That 1 damage I did last round was a big deal.
Actually, it was all the difference, so worked great. All right, so he is going to scheme against you for 3. +2 is 5. And then she's going to scheme for 2 as well. So that's going to be 7 total. So this will go to 9 out of 12. So that's a little bit tricky now. And then we'll get our cards. Hopefully no advance. Zap, take indirect damage equal to the total number of lightning resources in your hand. 0, but it gains surge. Legions of Hydra comes back out. So it's got 7 on it. Darn it. So we can't get rid of Madame Hydra now. All right. What else have we got here? Another Hydra soldier. And a Kree private has quick strike that you don't need to worry about.
Sweet.
Passes to you. Your turn. He's got 28 damage. I'm going to deal him 8.
Oh,
I can't because of this. Darn it.
What's that? The new guy, what's he do?
He is a 1/1 with 5 health. He's probably relatively ignorable.
Dadgum.
But you don't have any guards, so you could just kind of wiggle room your way around it. If you got damage, I say go damage.
All right, so let's see here. Big hands.
Nice.
Ooh. So I get to take a card. I don't need downtime. I'll just put a resource in. My issue's been paying for stuff today.
You don't have an issue. You got all those cards in your hand. You should have 8 cards now.
Oh, I get to draw one for him.
Yeah. You got no issues paying for stuff. And you got Nakia and a card under Bruno.
I had a plan and I don't remember the plan now. I'm going to use, I don't think I can get away with no quarter. I don't think it's going to do me any good right now because both of them, I can't attack one and the other one has 5 health. So I'll use that and wiggle room to play big hands.
Well, hold on.
Sorry,
So
I'm sorry. No, I meant in biggin.
Oh, got it. Yep.
Embiggen was the last card here until I put big hands in. And I was like, wait. What was it? So I can use this.
What does Locust do?
She lets me add a aggression card from my discard pile to my hand.
Oh.
So I'm thinking about playing her, and then I'm torn between which of these cards I want. It's Red Dagger,
Yeah.
which I spend 2 resources and he deals damage to an enemy. Oh, when he's defeated.
Hmm.
Then I've got Sneak By and Big Hands.
Got it.
If I exhaust her, then I can use Big Hands and Sneak By for Red Dagger. And that would allow me to do 5, 6 damage. Which doesn't feel like a lot.
Yeah. So I think maybe I'm one off. Darn it. I'm
Or
thinking
maybe
if you
if I play
put Locust out, get a card back, then play Big Hands with Nakia and Martial Prowess.
ooh, surprise attack.
Well, so you couldn't play Locust until you flipped up
Why not? Oh,
because you
see
have to
what
be
you're
a
saying.
champion, right? Sorry,
No,
but
no.
I think if you do Nakia and Martial Prowess, you can play Big Hands, exhaust, bring it back, play Locust, get a card, and then use the 3 cards in your hand to play Red Dagger, right?
Yeah. Let's do it. All right, so we're gonna exhaust Nakia and Sneak By, right, for Big Hands. So I gotta flip over.
No, Martial Prowess.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot. For Big Hands.
Yep.
So I deal 4 damage.
And then embiggen it.
Yeah. So that's 6.
He's down to 22.
And then I exhaust and bring Big Hands back.
Yep.
I will pay Power of Aggression to play Locust,
Mhm.
which gives me a card. Just surprise attack.
Yep. And now you got 3 cards to play Red Dagger, right?
Yes, but I can also do the Bruno. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. All right.
Yeah, I think Bruno or Red Dagger's a little better than Braun, right?
Well, I meant I could use.
Yeah, no, that's true. You had an extra card there as well.
Yeah. All right.
What I'm thinking is we can now use Bruno to do a little threat control.
You mean Red Dagger?
Red Dagger, sorry.
What? Bruno can do threat control?
My bad.
No, it's all right. I probably misspeak more than you do. So whenever you do it, it's a big deal.
Yes. So yeah, if you have something to take out my Hydra soldier, I don't know does Locust attack for 2?
Locust attacks for 1, and Spider-Man
Okay.
attacks for 2.
So maybe a Spider-Man could attack this soldier, then I could get him out of the way.
Yeah.
And then I think you just got to leave these in front of you and take some damage.
I mean, I'm still at 13 health right now,
Yeah, you're good.
and I have 2 allies. Do we want? Ooh, yeah.
So Red Dagger could remove some threat,
Red Dagger can remove 2.
and Locust could remove 1.
Then she's gone.
She only has 1 health. Oh,
Yep,
she thwarts for 1, but takes 2 consequential.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just have her punch.
Yeah. And then she can block.
Thanks,
for me.
Deskry.
Oh yeah, and we also exhausted him too. So all right, that was a good. That was probably my best round.
There you go.
Thanks for holding my hand there.
No problem. It takes a bit. So I could heroic strike, which would stun and deal 6 damage, and then we might be able to kill next turn. But I could also flip down and play Agent 13 and get rid of 4 threat and see if we can kind of like survive an extra round. What are you feeling?
I mean, even if it pops, we're still okay.
So just go damage.
I mean, I just don't think that you can make a wrong decision here.
Okay.
But
All right, I'll
this is
punch
that.
my soldier. I mean, the only issue would be if I get an advance, right? That's the main one. I can't hold my heroic strike, unfortunately. Because if I flip, I get one cheaper, and then I've got 1, 2, and I could pop her out. I kind of like that. We're gonna get extra cards. We're gonna get 2 cards each. What does flipping really do for me, though? Because I have all those defense events. So, nope, we'll do it the other way since I'm second. All right, so I'll pay 1, 2, 3 for heroic strike, deal 6 damage. That 15, and I'll stun him. All right.
Probably unexhaust everything.
All right, so we will add 3 threat to the main scheme, so it goes to 10. Then he will not attack you because he's stunned. However, they will attack you for 2 and 1.
So I'll have Locust and Miles defend.
Nah, you don't need to, right? You're at 13, just go to 10.
All right, I can do that too.
So here's the thing that I always think of. We're in end game, right? There's odds that we can deal 15 damage next turn. So just use your health as a resource.
Okay.
Because what you've got 3
Ooh.
people on the table, that's 5 damage. Do you have an attack event in your hand?
I've got 2.
So
I've got actually 3. Well, I've got 4, but one of them was surprise attack. So
right. So you've got what, maybe 8 damage there or so, maybe 10 damage.
well, I've got
Plus-
Relentless Assault plus
Yeah.
Embiggen, so I could do.
Yeah.
What's that?
So-
The one guy had 5, right?
Yeah, so I mean that's what I'm looking at. I can powerful punch right now. So then we're looking at another 5. So he's going to be at 10. You can do 10 damage yourself. You don't even need me.
No.
So I would just take the 3 damage at this point, and then you have emergency blockers in case he does a big attack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to give you some of my thought process. You're welcome to do whatever you want.
It's not, well, so I've played with I've played with you, like, this is the 4th time.
Sure, yeah.
And I got to play with Steve earlier this week, and it feels like every time I've played with you guys, I walk away with either some new way to look at the game or I've learned something.
Yeah.
That Monday game, I was so embarrassed about the Quicksilver not knowing his abilities. So
You did fine. What did you not do with his abilities? In fact, I remember like, oh, did you use Serval? And you were like, yeah, I totally used it.
well, I forgot the like he could ready.
Oh, he can defend and ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's so many heroes. It's tough,
Yeah.
Like I played them all from the beginning. So it's like I've played them all 10 times until I move on to the next one.
Yeah.
But when you're kind of jumping in and trying to bounce around between them, it's tricky. So I mean, that's always my goal, is to like help people learn and see, not tell them what to do so we can win. Like
I think I
people don't have to listen to me,
what I was trying to say was more of an appreciation thing, and I think it might came out as more of like,
no, it
you're
didn't
always
at all.
yelling at me.
No, I know there's some people that find it to be like alpha gaming, like I'm telling you what to do. You know what I mean?
I mean, even if you do, though, there's things to be learned in that.
Trying to see that. And she's very combo-y. Like there's more you can do than it feels like. You know what I mean? So you have to see like those extra cards. In fact, I even missed the fact that you had a card on Bruno. So we could have done something with that, But now we can do it this turn. So anyway, he's going to attack me with his machine gun first. I'll take 1 damage. So I go to 8. Then he's going to attack me for 3. And when he does that, I'm going to use my apartment and energy barrier to do a powerful punch and hit him for 4. So he's at 11. And then he will hit me for 3 plus 0. There goes an advance. I like to see that. So I will go down to 5 and retaliate 1 on him. So he's down to 10. And then we are getting our cards. We've got to play on heroic 1 here. All right. Discard X cards from your counter deck where X is his attack. Take 1 indirect damage for each one dealt this way. Yikes. All right. So his attack is 3. 1, 2, 3. There's 1 boost icon. So you take 1 indirect damage.
Oh, I do?
Yep.
I'll give it to, I'll just take it.
All right. Then you get a Hydra Bomber. You can either put 2 threat on the main scheme. Sorry, 1 threat on the main scheme or take 2 damage. This won't pop, so I assume you'll put it here.
I mean, I can take the 2 damage too.
Yeah, whichever you want to do is fine.
Yeah, I'll take the 2 damage just in case.
I did miss when Madame Hydra attacks, she adds threat to this. All right. I'm going to draw an air static. So this is an environment. When the villain phase begins, deal 2 indirect damage to each player with a lightning resource in their hand or on a card they control, and we can get rid of it. But we don't really need to worry about that for now.
Holy Hannah.
And a Zax. Yikes. So he's going to have plus X attack and plus X hit points, where X is the number of lightning resources on cards they control. So I don't have any lightning resources, so not too
Good
bad.
for you, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, I will play Fearless Determination to draw a card. It's not a double. I was hoping it would be a double. All right. So I can thwart for 3, but I think we're just in kill mode. So I will deal 2 damage. I will use my electrostatic armor. I can do this all day, and I will deal 2 more damage. He's down to 6 and pass turn to you.
All right, so I'm going to use Martial Prowess and Embiggen to play. Oh, and need something else. Sneak attack to play Relentless Assault.
Okay.
So that's 7 damage.
So go through this bomber, I assume.
Yep.
That's 5. He's down to 1.
You know what, Locust, you deserve it. I'll let Locust attack for 1.
Boom, there's the kill. Nice. Yeah, so we played a little hybrid rush versus control, right?
So would you call that a tempo deck?
I guess so. It seems to me the idea of tempo is that, yeah. In fact, I think you're right. I think that's what tempo is. It wasn't all out damage, but it wasn't all out control. Because control, I would have wanted to get rid of her. I would have wanted to get rid of this. I'd want to get rid of this. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not as worried about this guy dealing 1 damage every turn. I'd almost rather he's there. He's almost like a target for extra damage and things. But yeah, I mean, it probably is. My deck is very 0, 1, 2 cost cards, which is the idea, I believe, of tempo, is to just make everything, relatively cheap. Jocasta is the only 3 in my deck, in fact. So I think you're right. I think this is what tempo is. It's the harder one for me to define.
It just wasn't something you expected to put out. Like you just
yeah, exactly
stumbled on it.
But you notice what we did. So when you're talking about these schemes, like when we let this one go the first turn, right? And it got up to 4 or 5, and then we pulled it back, stayed up so it wouldn't pop. Then it was like, go ahead and flip down. We'll let it pop. So we just controlled it so that full damage would have been, oh, just let these go. And we probably would have lost a threat. But we removed the crisis and we brought this one down. So we got an extra turn out of it. And then when we got to this one, we just thwarted it down a little bit. We got rid of the Legions of Hydra, which unfortunately came back to try to not get those extra cards, because the extra cards are what going to give the villain tempo back at us, right?
Yeah.
And then this card is just brutal. I don't care about this one so much, but this one that makes you discard a card every time you take damage can really slow you down in what you're trying to do. Whereas taking damage at some point, it's just a resource, right? It's just health.
Yeah.
Nice. That was great.
Yeah, that was fun.
That is Crossbones. He's very low on health. He's like the lowest health person in the game. So I think Zola is there, and I think the Master Mold is also that low. But 26, I think, is the lowest health you have on I'm not sure what Hela ends up being if you only defeat one stage of her. She's probably lower,
Huh.
but
I thought
she
that
doesn't
was
really
so,
count because you have to defeat all those minions.
I just thought that was so funny the other day when you were doing the live stream, because at a certain point I was like, okay, I got to turn this off because I have got work that I've got to actually get done today. And
You're talking about when we did the Mutant Genesis one?
yeah, I'm sorry, that was Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so I would pop in and they're still doing that one. And then I jump in and it was like the middle, or no, you guys had just started the mansion attack. But
Okay.
it was like, wait, all of the other ones took like an hour and a half or an hour, and then you guys went through master mold like
Yeah.
what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, Master Mold and Brotherhood went down really fast.
Yeah.
The other two, the Night of the Sentinels wasn't actually that long, but we got really close to losing. So we kind of like slowed down our play to figure out, and then we just had to kind of like play the odds at the end to win. Something happened. I think we beat him because Larry killed him on the defense with like a retaliate or something because we got him down to 1 health.
So I did a video on Tuesday where I played Black Panther. And again, that was one of those, like, I've never played Black Panther. I didn't play anyone from the box until I got War Machine, and it was Iron Man, just because
Okay.
of the team up card.
Got
And
it.
so I messed up his stuff too. And so the next day, after people had commented on things that I'd messed up on, I played like 3 games with them against Rhino again. And it was just so funny that there was like 2 or 3 times where Rhino died because of the retaliate. I just
Got
was
it.
like so thematic.
Yeah, the retaliate on him is awesome. Yeah, and same with Cap. They have that retaliate, which makes them fun in protection because you can get a lot of damage the villain when they attack you, plus the one retaliate. So it really feels like you're loading up the. I mean, it actually would have been interesting to track how much of his damage was done on the villain turn.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe next time we do that.
once we flipped him, it wasn't as much. It was the getting him down initially that it was a lot. And then I was removing a lot more threat. And yeah, I mean, there's definitely that element, like you said, that I don't have a lot of cards in my hand for my hero turn. But with Cap, it doesn't matter because all I need is 1 card and I could deal 4 damage or remove 4 threat. I need 1 card.
I think that is more of it's a mindset kind of thing.
Yeah.
You feel, but I mean, again, the villain's turn was so much longer now because you pretty much just did your turn during the villain's phase, which there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I think there's a mindset there that people have of I'm not doing anything on my turn now. But no, you did like almost all the damage during the hero's phase or the villain phase.
Agreeably, in a 4-player game would be a lot more frustrating than in a solo or 2-player game.
Maybe. Oh, well.
Because you'd be waiting for everybody to take their turns and you're like, oh, I have no turn.
Yeah.
You know,
well, it also depends. You know, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that you can take from this game from like D&D, right? And one of the things in D&D is you never want someone just to sit there. You kind of want the action to be moving along, because again, you know, it's the same thing that happens with my daughter. When my daughter's not playing, if she's playing with us, she's off in nowhere, and now we've got to try to like bring her back in the game, and then it just wastes so much time.
Right.
So
yeah, no, and you definitely got to know your players, and it's definitely not like there's definitely a lot of styles that are not interesting. Like Miss Marvel in Justice, she's probably the greatest warder, and especially if you go to high end multiplayer games, you know, expert 3 and 4 player, she can like remove 20 threat in a turn, flip down, you know, not remove a bunch, flip back up, remove 20. But in solo, it's just not as effective because you don't need to remove 20 threat.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not really an interesting thing for people who are playing the first time. You wouldn't be like, oh, watch all the threat you're going to remove. People want to deal damage. They want to put cards out that let them draw cards. They want to do relentless assault through a minion and be like, oh, I did all this damage through them. Right. So those are the kind of things you want to set them up for. So what's really fun is if you build a deck where you like support them. So Black Panther's a great example because he can get a lot of card draw, and you could just be like, here's your endurance, here's a skilled investigator, here's a, you know, whatever combat, like here's all these cards that make you better, and I'll just kind of sit here and control everything, and you do all the damage and all the upfront. That's really fun to do.
Probably another reason why I think Storm and Cyclops will be really interesting, especially for for people that are trying to get other people into the game, because they're probably would be go-tos for me if I'm trying to teach somebody to how to play, right?
Right.
And
They're gonna
then,
be popular characters too.
yeah, and then you've got Wolverine, where okay, I'm teaching someone new the game. You get to play Wolverine, and then I'm here to more support you, kind of. So I think that will be pretty interesting when that
Yeah.
comes out.
I'm intrigued to see how Wolverine plays in aggression because it feels like he has enough attack events in his kit to trigger his ability that you don't need to like load him up with it. Like you don't want to draw a hand with 3 attack events necessarily.
Yeah.
Although I guess you could argue one of them's free and then you could play 1 or 2 of the others, so it's not a bad place to be.
Yeah. I wonder how often I would want to use the health thing, because he does have health regenerate, or he regenerates his health in hero form, but it's not that much. Like there are other things that are happening. I don't think people are necessarily, I don't know, I think it's a cautionary type thing.
Well, here's the key, right? And it's the same on her. 5 recovery.
Oh yeah, no,
So it's going to be a matter of he flips up, he uses his ability, he takes 3 damage to play a card for free, attacks, blah, 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 blah. Next turn, he plays a card for 2 or 3, heals 2, right? So now you're down 4 or 5 health. You took a hit. You might be down 6 health. You flip down, you exhaust, and you heal 5.
yeah.
He might even heal for more. Is his recovery even higher than
His
5?
is 6. Yeah, his is 6.
His is 6. So, right. So that's allowing you to play 2. I mean, that's allowing you to play 2 events, take damage from the villain, and be able to flip down and heal. So, like,
I think his
but
health is
again,
12
flipping
too,
is something that people don't
want to
do or like to do as much, especially in solo, which is where I feel like the game is. It's hard to argue that the game is 1 to 4 on the box, and people love playing this game solo, and they are right to play it solo. But when you play solo, there's some element that you're going to have to do of control so you can flip to alter ego to take advantage of those abilities. And it depends. When I played Capsule, I was flipping all the time, and I had my apartment, so I was able to flip down. I had more allies in my deck. Once I realized I was playing with you and you could control some more threat and things, I pulled allies out of my deck to have more events. Whereas if I was in solo, I would put Daredevil in here and a few other allies to help me control threat. So they'd come out cheaper when I'm flipping down because he pays 1 less.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting with Cap. Not only does he draw an extra card, you can flip down, play an ally cheaper, like Nick Fury comes out for 3 and then draws 3 cards. And then on the next turn, you can play another ally cheaper. And if you have the apartment, you heal 2 and draw 2 extra cards. Yeah. So suddenly that's 3 card draw and 2 resources for flipping to alter ego. Like there's a lot to be gained there. And I think sometimes people think, oh, all it is I can recover and I draw an additional card.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of heroes
lines,
that are missing, like Black Panther, when you flip over, it's only his setup ability that he really gets. So I think there's an element of that. But no, I did a database, or I built a spreadsheet and I averaged all of the different heroes. And I know that it's hard to do.
What?
Right? I averaged all of their stats, right? So what's the average health? What's the average attack and stuff like that? And so then I try to assign scores to it. And I bet you wouldn't guess who's the highest, do you? Do you know?
The highest
based off their stats.
So that's weird. Are you putting Ironheart in as her highest level or her lowest level or the average of her level?
Ironheart,
she's got to be the highest.
Ironheart and Iron Man were complicated because they've got multiple forms. Like again, Iron Man, he gets the 7 cards based off of upgrades.
Right.
So and then Drax, his attack is different based off of a certain thing. So those were kind of harder to kind of figure out, but just based off normal stats. I think I might have had the 3 versions of Ironheart. I may not. I can't remember. I did it like a month ago. But the highest one was Hulk.
Because he's 0-3-3.
Yeah. Well, then you also take in consideration card size and health. I mean, health-wise, he's the highest in the game. And then recovery is.
Oh, you just literally added all their stats.
Well,
so you're saying 18 plus 0 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 4.
So I averaged all of them, and then I gave them a score based off of where they are, based off from the average, right? So like Wolverine, the average recovery is 3, Wolverine's got 6, so that gave him a lot of points. He's like number 4, I think, in that list of mine.
Yeah.
So
And then it's funny, like Miss Marvel. I mean, it's good she's a 1/1/1, but she could be a 0/0/0
yeah,
because that's right. She has wiggle room to block damage. She is exhausting to get event cards back, not. So it's kind of like, oh, I can't, so I'll flip and heal, or there's just no events for me to play, so I'll just ping a tough or something like that, right? That's
Yeah.
why she has her. So her stats aren't really 1/1/1 because her ability is so ridiculously powerful to recur a card is just one of the best things you can do in a card game, you know?
yeah. And I think that's another issue I have going through the different cards. Like, who do I want to play?
Yeah.
You look at certain things on face value, and then you start to jump into it. One of my most played heroes right now is Spider.
Okay.
With the 4 hand size, because you have those 5 resources once they're
Right.
out, and it's just like, oh, okay, I pretty much just paid for
Do you
everything.
put an Avengers Mansion in her deck?
I don't know if I do or not. I can't remember.
So that's an interesting part with 4 hand size heroes. If you give them card draw, you're massively overcoming their downside.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, I don't want to pay for a 4-cost card because what if I draw 3 cards and that now I can't play it?
Oh, with
but
her,
she's easy because you always have enough resources to play.
yeah.
So you know that she's a definite mine. Same with somebody like Rocket, who has double resources in his kit. Black Panther, Captain Marvel. So it's an interesting assessment as you see it. It's like, oh, if I have triple resources and double resources in my kit, then my ability to get those cards down becomes a lot easier. So it's, you know, it's kind of fun on that front. But yeah, no, it's interesting. It's interesting to assess, and people have different play styles. So it's always weird, like trying to somehow give advice, which is why I like just playing live. Like, let me just show you what I built and how I'm making it work more than like telling you this is what you should do.
Yeah. No, I mean, and what was it? I don't know who I talked to about this. Maybe it was you, or maybe it was Steve. Are you allowed to play team up cards for a hero that you aren't? Does that make sense?
No.
Okay.
You have to be on the card to put the card in your deck.
Okay. Because I thought that'd be interesting if you were able to be Cyclops and then put in the Soul Sisters for Jean Grey and Storm.
Yeah. Nope, you can't do that. Your identity has to have the name of the card.
All right.
To go in your deck. Yeah, that'd be interesting though. Yeah, to be able to put, because then you could make like a 4-person team and everybody could have every team up card.
But also now it's extremely situational. It's not like at every moment you're going to have those heroes out. So where are we at now?
I'm just reading some of the chat here just to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, going over that. How hard is the expert campaign for Mutant Genesis? It's pretty hard. I tried it with Rocket solo. And it took me a while to get, yeah, it was pretty hard solo. I think it'd be fine with more players. I think the whole thing is going to be tough solo. It'll be interesting. That's another part with solo play is that stun and confuse are just so powerful. But if you go to something like Mutant Genesis, every single scenario has steady or stalwart.
Huh.
So suddenly the solo play of stun and confuse, like people are like, oh, these decks are so powerful, Scarlet Witch and Spider-Woman and Cap protection, where you can just have, you know, infinite stuns, infinite whatever confuses. Well, you can't in solo anymore. Now, you know, you'd have to play double of those cards. And now is it worth it to get that control? Yeah. Whereas if you go back to some of the, you know, the core box villains, you can just stun and confuse Rhino, Claw, and Ultron all day and you win. It's very easy in solo to control all that, you know?
That was never really a way that we played though. And I probably need to try it more doing the
Thanks, Steve.
Stalwarts, or not studied stalwart, the stun and confuses. I don't use them as much as I think I could.
Yep, sorry, I'm answering some questions here.
Yeah.
Steve says, don't tell me what to do. You're not my dad. Oh, and he says if it was with you, he talked about it.
Yeah.
What about make the call? Yeah, you can make the call for any ally. You can take somebody's signature ally. Steve is leaving. Thank you. Signature allies. Yep. Yeah. No, that is that. So Cool. Well, thank you. Thanks for joining me, Nick.
Right at 9 o'clock.
Tell
Perfect.
people, tell people about your channel.
So my channel, I've rebranded. It's now cnspartan. I dropped all the numbers because that's too complicated. I didn't know I could do that.
Nice.
But yeah, I just basically do the same thing I do here. We did here, where I play solo. Got I think 4 or 5 videos now. So it's just more champions I get to play. So, but hey, thank you for having
And
me on.
I love solo. If I come across, it's not necessarily what I always want to play, but I love the fact the game has solo and all that. But there really is a different thing between solo versus even 2-player, and then I think 3 and 4 players its own category. Like they all feel very different. That's all.
Yeah, that's all. I
What I
mean,
find.
I feel like you need to also change your decks, which was
Yeah.
great. I mean, there's certain cards, especially in Justice, where it's like, what was it? You remove 2 per person threat off of each scheme,
Right.
and it's like
It's only side schemes.
the side scheme. Yeah, yeah. And but when would I ever play that by myself? Like,
Right.
but then if you're, it's almost a must if you're doing 3 or 4. So
Yeah. It gets a lot better. And it makes one way or another a lot more playable.
yeah. So
Especially if people love one way or another. It's a great example. It's an amazing solo card in a 4-player game. You bring out a side scheme with 12 threat on it. Who's getting rid of that?
the Miss Marvel who can do 20.
Right. But again, she's getting 3 card draw and she can't play one way or another until she flips up. So now she can't use lay down. Right. So suddenly,
Well, man, if
I
someone
love
else
that.
played
I
it,
love that. Even, so some of those staple cards in solo aren't that way. And then the alliance cards are amazingly good cards in 3 and 4-player. And then they just slide backward and they're not
I've
nearly as good.
never played an alliance card actually.
Right. Because there's how do you do it? Like it just doesn't make as much sense in solo. So I love that the card pool has cards for player counts, That's really neat. So
I just thought of a way to fix that program I made. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks everybody for joining us. There's lots of people here. Clearly people are more awake at 9 a.m. than 8 a.m., but not us. We were up and ready to go. 7:30.
I'll have to do it again.
All right, for sure. Thanks so much, everybody. My name is the Brandt, joined by
Nick Rice, cnspartan.
Until next time, we hope you step into the portal. Have a great Friday. Happy weekend, everybody.